Hi everyone, this is Kyle with kayDbait. I'm going to be doing video 8 of my debate videos, which this one is going to be on priorities. Now, the main reason people debate is to inform, or at least it should be. What people don't understand is that the people you are speaking to and the people watching you debate have different priorities than you. And a priority is something that you want, something that you are actively seeking. And when somebody has a different priority than you, usually because of a different value system, different upbringing, different goals, you have to change how you say something so that they can understand and potentially be able to integrate your argument into their new or into their current priorities. And people don't understand that. They try to argue as if the person they're speaking to is exactly like them, or the idea of who they are as opposed to actually who they are. And that's a big deal when all you can see is what you believe as opposed to what is actually there. And that's something that you have to be able to actively do before, during, and after a debate, where if you don't do that, if you never understand who you are speaking to or who is listening, then you will not be able to resonate with them. You will not be able to be understood by them. And that damages your agenda. That damages why you're debating. Because you have priorities also. I understood that a few months ago when I used to say I didn't have an agenda, but now I realize that my agenda is to inform, and unbiasedly. So that is technically an agenda, and there's a lot of people that have similar ideas. They have similar reasons for doing what I do, and I respect them. I respect people that want to inform unbiasedly. So that's a motivation for me, is to be better so that I can help other people. They have the same ideas, hopefully. So if you want to debate, you have to understand why the other person is debating as well. What do they value? Why do they value it? How are they speaking? How do they see you? If you see them as an idiot, if you see them as some bigot Neanderthal that has no concept of what you're even talking about, you're not going to resonate with them at all. You are going to sound insulting. You're going to sound demeaning. You're going to put them down emotionally and mentally with your words. And not that they will be broken by it, but they will be insulted by it. They will not be listening to you because you're not speaking to them. You're speaking to the idea of them being an idiot. And that's not how you inform somebody. If a teacher did that to all of these idiot student children, then they'll never learn. You're just going to demean them and make them not want to learn, which sadly does happen because some teachers should not be teachers. But you have to understand that there are places that these people are coming from. They're people. They have their own ideas. They have their own problems. They have their own everything. You can't just talk to this two-dimensional idea of them that you have. If that's all you do and you don't actually care, you should not be debating. And I say that sometimes is there's a lot of people that should not debate. They don't have the mental faculties to do it. They don't have the understanding of what it means to debate. All they want to do is yell and call it debate as a form of justifying their verbalization of their hate or their dogma or whatever it is. And they don't have the ability to do it. They don't want to do it to the level that makes it beneficial as opposed to detrimental. And I see it very often with people I try to debate with, and all they do is say the exact same thing over and over again. And when I tell them, I don't understand what you mean, can you elaborate? And they say the exact same thing again, they are presenting their argument poorly. I have to do all of the legwork to understand. And while that's not necessarily unfair if I am the one that is ignorant on the subject, but they are trying generally to push something onto me. They are supposed to be the expert. I am the one trying to learn. And if the person actively trying to teach me doesn't care if I learn and just wants me to agree, that is not a debate. That is them trying to push their ideals onto somebody without trying to inform them of why they should be changing or learning this new thing. I'm all for learning. I'm all for understanding everything about everything. There are a few things that I will never do. I will not do drugs to learn what they do. I will not do certain types of activities to see if I like them, mainly because they're dangerous or illegal. And there are certain things that I am just physically, mentally afraid of, like skydiving. I'm afraid of climbing things that are very high. I get vertigo. So there are certain things that I won't actively do to see if I like them. Roller coasters terrify me. I've been on them. I tried to get over my fear of them, but I couldn't. I got over my fear of needles by going to the med center. I got over my fear of social activity by actively trying to make friends, and I'm still not over my inability to socialize properly, but I'm over that hurdle of, at least mildly, of speaking to new people. So my social anxiety has gone down. Those are the places I'm coming from. Those are the things. If you talk about how awesome this roller coaster is, I can agree with you. I'm like, yeah, it's exciting, it's thrilling, it looks really scary, but I'm not going to go on it. You can't argue with me to go on it because I won't. I am terrified of them. I get horrible panic attacks. And it's not fun for me. It's not something I want to do. I could laugh about it because it's ridiculous. It's a fear I have. It's an illogical fear I have. But I can't get over the negatives that it pushes onto my body. It makes me have panic attacks. I can't breathe. I get, massive fright where I lock up. And it's not fun for me. So what's fun for them, they're, adrenaline junkies, yeah, I can understand that it's pleasurable for them. But I will not do it because it is not pleasurable for me. So you have to understand where somebody's coming from. And obviously, if you're talking to a lower educated, very rural kind of area person, that they did not have a good school system, they did not have a good intellectual upbringing, where they worked. Like my dad, he had to drop out of school to go to work. He doesn't have that higher level of education. He's a very intelligent man, but he doesn't have the broad education this college would give. So when speaking to him, you can't just use these words. You can't speak to him as an intellectual, college-educated man. He knows what he knows very well. He's a technician, not a technician. He does preventative maintenance for a warehouse. He knows how to fix things. But he doesn't have the textbook education that most engineers have. He doesn't have the technical terms. He doesn't have the technical ingenuity skills, but he can do it. So it is a very different kind of intelligence. It's a very different kind of knowledge. And when speaking to him about a machine, you would not be able to use the technical terms with him. So if you're trying to argue on how to fix something, if you're trying to have a small discussion about something with him, then you have to speak to him differently. And if you try to push something onto him, he will either not understand or not care about your college-educated ideas because he can actually fix it. And that's something that some people with this higher level of education assume they can do but can't. Going to college gives you the broadness. It does not give you the depth unless you are really into your studies. And studying hands-on is also important when dealing with machinery. There are people at his work that have all of these degrees and whatever, and they can't fix things. He has to show them how to fix things. And it is insulting to them that he is capable of doing something that they are not able to do yet. But they do have the broadness to learn, and that is something that is also important. Somebody that has no information, no motivation, and no understanding of a subject will probably never learn unless you have a very good persuasive argument that is capable of bringing them in. And that is very difficult. So you have to change how you debate, how you discuss, and how you externalize your argument to people that are different than you are. And I use the term different intellectually, not physically. I'm not even going to get into that. But it's the upbringing, it's the background, the experiences somebody has had. Everyone has had different ones. So that's why I say people are different. It is not because of that other reason. I am not a bigot. So that's it. 10 minutes. Peace.